Greetings, everyone, and thank you all for tuning in. And welcome to another edition of Female Barber Talk with Yah-Tay. I am Yah-Tay Keaton, your host, also known as Yah-Tay the Barber Stylist, and I am here with episode number 17. I can't believe I'm on the 17th episode. For those of you who are new to this podcast, I started the Female Barber Talk with Yah-Tay podcast at the beginning of the year, and we're now in episode 17. Tonight's topic is She Did Hair First. It's a Mother's Day tribute to my first inspiration, which is my mother. Today is Mother's Day, so I want to say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, stepmothers, aunts, all those who've mothered anyone, whether it doesn't matter. Happy Mother's Day to everyone. So that's what today's topic is about. I want to welcome you all. If you're catching this on the replay, thank you for taking time out of your day to replay this podcast. And do share. Please comment. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel. I have some wonderful episodes that have taken place here in the last few weeks. I come on every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I may be live. It may be pre-recorded. I may have a guest, or it might be me bringing you the topic for the evening, or the subject for the evening. So grow with me. That's all I say. Grow with me. Hey, WK, thank you for joining. I greatly appreciate you tuning in. Thank you for coming on. Happy Mother's Day. I appreciate you taking time out of your day. So, yeah. This is a deeply personal Mother's Day tribute honoring my late mother, who was a licensed cosmetologist, whose hands, hustle, and heart laid the foundation for a legacy of beauty, strength, and purpose. Gone since 1998. It's been 37 years. I got my tissue this time, y'all. I just dropped it, but it's been 37 years. My mother's presence is still powerfully felt. This Mother's Day is I'm gonna get through this, y'all. If you haven't watched the last episode 17, you all know that I lost my father a week ago yesterday. So it's Saturday if you're catching this on the replay. I lost my dad a week ago this past Saturday on May 3rd. So I'm in a space where I'm without both of my parents. So I'm going to get through this. But like I mentioned, she's been gone since 1988. My mother's presence is still powerfully felt in every braid, every lock, every life I touch. And in this episode, I share memories, I share lessons, and living inspiration, the living inspiration behind my award-winning book here. God, y'all. Let me just put it up. Just work with me. Living inspiration behind my award-winning book, A Heritage of Hair, which is dedicated to both my mother and father. And I'll, get into a little bit of that, and I'll actually read the dedication, as we get to it. But this episode is not about selling a book. It's about celebrating a life, a lineage, and the power of passing down purpose. And I'll tell you a little bit about how I stepped into um, my purpose in terms of the beauty and barbering industry, and how that all came about. But nonetheless, whether you know your mother, or you have your mother with you, or you've known and had your mother for decades, or have lost her early on, like I did, 49 days after my 16th birthday. And I'm gonna show you a picture of me. I think I was, I want to say it was 16 on this one here. Um, but I think I, I I think it was 16, but I could have been 15. But this picture was taken not too long before my mom, you know, before she actually passed. So hold on, I got to take something out. I got to remove something because I got too much in. I can always add it back in. Hold on. StreamYard don't let you put up too much, but y'all don't laugh at my Jerry curl. Yes, yes, I had a Jerry curl. So this is a picture of me in the last apartment that we lived in prior to my mom transitioning. But I want to say that was my shortly after my birthday. And I believe with everything in me that I was 16 on this picture. But anyway, that's the picture of me between the ages of 15 and 16. So as I was saying, if you lost your mom early on, you still have her. Um, this tribute is for anyone shaped by a woman, um, who did her best to love, build, and leave a mark with you. So let's get into this Mother's Day tribute. Once again, I want to say Happy Mother's Day to everyone. Thank you. Let's see. I'm so sorry you lost your mom. It's never easy, no matter how many years go by. And I am so sorry about your father. My condolences. Thank you. You're right. It doesn't matter if you've been with them for a long time, or they've been in your life for a long time, or you lost them early on in life. It's a emptiness that doesn't go away. You just learn to cope with it. And like I said, um, my my parents, both of them are gone. I'm going to share this with you. This is an early image of the two of them. I want to say they were in their um, early mid 20s. My dad is a couple years older than my mom. So, yeah, this is a picture of my mom and my dad in the mid to late 70s. But nonetheless, I want to say Happy Mother's Day. So this is about love. It's about legacy, and it's about honoring her presence then and now. And I say now because I'm actually in the beauty industry, though I grew up in the industry. Thank you. Thank you. Though I grew up in the beauty industry, I didn't go into it right away. Actually, it took me some, it took a life changing event to put me on, I say back on the path, because hair was my first love. I watched my mom in the house. If y'all know about kitchen beauticians, I'm going to show you a image of her in the house doing hair. And let me just move this one out the way. I got a lot of things that coordinates with what I'm sharing, but at different points, my mom worked in the house from the home, and that's because she had my youngest sister, and at the time, she hadn't found someone suitable to care for her. So she, in turn, did hair at the house as well until, she went back into the salon. But this is an image of my mom with one of her clients. Not only was it her client, it was a dear friend of hers who I grew up knowing, Miss Ollie. But she was a kitchen beautician as well. You can see some of the products on the back and the backdrop there. But nonetheless, in honoring her for Mother's Day and sharing this story, I want to talk about what I knew of her as a licensed professional. She worked as a cosmetologist, but let me say this. So she graduated in 71 because I was born in 72. She graduated in 71. However, she didn't receive her license until February 6, 1990. I'm sorry, 1978, which was 6 days before my 6th birthday. So 2 kids, a marriage and a divorce later, she finally achieved her goal of becoming a licensed cosmetologist, which was very difficult. She had gone to state board after she had finished school, but she didn't pass. So life, life was lifing with her. Like I said, 2 kids, a marriage and a divorce, domestic violence. She experienced that with my dad. Yeah. So she kept at it. She kept at it. But she eventually achieved her goal. I want to share something that I got out of her memory book. Just bear with me. So, in her memory book, my mom had written, I have it, but I just took a copy of uh, the page. I guess I should. Let's see if I can read it up here. Oh, that's kind of small for my little eyes, y'all. But um, what you see there is personal facts, and basically it says her name, her height, her weight at the time, which she said she was 5'9.5". My mother stood almost 6 foot. I'm gonna just say that, but at the time she said 5'9.5". She's 190 pounds. With your memory book, you put those things in, and she talked about some of her passion. Give me a second, y'all. I have it. Let me grab it. Hold on. Okay. Because look, my eyes bad. I can't see that up there. So this is it. So I'm going to actually, it says Anita Varice McKinney. So my mom's maiden name is McKinney. And they called her Suge. She was, I found out when I was doing our family tree with my great uncle, she was named after an aunt, which would be my great aunt on her father's side, whose name was Suge. They named her Suge because she favored her. She was tall like her. So they named her, that was her nickname, Suge, a brown sugar. But she was the class of 71 at Gibbs Senior High School. So, oh, wow. Okay. I forgot I got some pictures in here, but I'm gonna show y'all this picture. This is a picture of my mom at work. She had "please don't remove" on it, so it must have been up on her station. Um, this is a very, very young picture of her. I can see my cousin, I can see my niece, I can see all of us in her. But oh, I forgot about this, you all. This was a picture of her cosmetology instructor in high school, which was inside her memory book as well. And if I could read it, because she had it glued, it says, "To Anita, I hope your I hope you on continue in cosmetology. You are a uh, hand something." Okay, I'm not going to try to read it, but let's get back to the point of personal facts. Okay, personal facts. Her name, Anita Varese McKinney. At this time, she stayed at 1820 19th Street South. For those of you who live in St. Petersburg, y'all know where it is. It's that house, the one house directly behind Sidney Hollins. Our family don't own it now. Someone else lives in it, but she was there. I even have the phone number. Our area code is 727-894-337. I'm sorry, 3770. She was age 17. Her height here was 5'9.5", and she weighed 190 pounds. It says here, awards won. She won one award of honors in cosmetology for outstanding work and the best notebook. So I have that to show as well. Someone said, oh, Wike said, wow, that's amazing. She perceived and was able to persevered and was able to push through and fulfill her goals. She did. There was one other goal that she wanted to achieve that I realized in the book, in her memory book, because she wrote it down. So I'm going to share that as well. Let me just take this one down. So to talk more about her cosmetology days, this is the book that she used in cosmetology school that was issued to them. How I remembered it as a child. I don't know what happened to it after she passed and we moved in with my aunt, but nonetheless, I was able to get a hold of a copy simply because I remembered what the book looked like. And how I went about finding the book was I typed in on Amazon the 1970s cosmetology book. And I tell y'all, as soon as it popped up, I was like, that's it. So once I got it in hand, I started flipping through it. And I had flashbacks of remembering looking through the book as a kid. You know, just I thought I was called myself reading. I thought I was reading. I was just looking at the pages. I mean, the pictures in the book. But nonetheless, I have a copy of it. So it took her some time. So she, you know, worked a few odd jobs at Honeywell. She did some CNA work. She also worked at a gas station. And this was all during the time of her pressing through to get her cosmetology license. She still did hair, even though she wasn't licensed just yet. She continued on with it because as a young child, my mom would braid, you know, the kids in the neighborhood. That's a picture of my mom as a senior. The kids in the neighborhood, her nieces, she would braid their hair. So she did that for a while, and you know, kind of kept her skills up. She studied because I saw the book. I was, you know, kind of writing in the book and called myself doing what she did as a child. So she persevered. Then I remember her going into the shop. Oh man, what the name of that shop was? Uh, Let me, because I wrote about it in here. Hold on, y'all. Um, God, it was with her mentor, Gary Gary Flowers. Soul, no, no, she worked at Soul Scissors Salon Chain, which was a franchise that started out of New York. And then they kind of phased out. And that franchise was started by Art Dyson. He's a pioneer in the beauty industry as it relates to Black hair. But they brought a franchise to St. Petersburg, Florida. It was located at the world's most unusual drugstore in our hometown. So those of you who grew up in the 60s and 70s, you know about it. It was downtown off 9th Street near Camera Park. It was over in that area. It has completely changed now, so you probably might not know of it. But nonetheless, she was there. And then she worked with Gary Flowers, which is her mentor. Let me pull up a picture of him because I think I secured one of him as well. They were actually chit-chatting. So here's a picture. Uh-oh. They say I got to take one out. Hold on, y'all. I got too many images. You can only have so many up. But let me take this one down as well. Hold on. Let me find it. Okay, there we go. So this is her mentor, Gary Flowers. So she ended up going to work for him. And my uncle, Will, who's also a beautician, he called a beautician. Well, let me back up. He went to school, he passed, but because he cared for my grandparents, he never went and took his state board. But he had all the training, he completed his hours, he passed with flying colors, but he just never got around to taking his state board. So he was instrumental, as well as my father, in telling me about my mom's journey through hair and achieving her goal. So that was her mentor, Gary Flowers. She worked at Soul Scissors, and I got to share this with y'all. Soul Scissors was the chain, and then I think I want to say it was Gary Styling Boutique. That's what it was, Gary Styling Boutique. She worked with him, which this is the image that I showed y'all of her. She was in his salon here. Oh, a lot of history, a lot of history. She was in his salon. So she was working in his salon, or was it his salon, or was it the styling, the beauty gallery? One of them. But that's my mom styling. That's her best friend, who is no longer with us as well, Lenora Wilson. They were great friends. She always, used her as her model. So that's her. And as a matter of fact, I want to show you all this that I came across too. So this is one of my mom's old business cards, and it has her name, has appointments, has the days that she was available for work. She her schedule was Thursday through Saturday, and of course she took Sundays and Mondays off. But that was at the beauty gallery, And that was in St. Petersburg, or is in St. Petersburg. I don't know that it's still open. If it is, it might be something else, because this was back in the late 70s, early 80s, maybe mid 80s that she worked there. And that's one of her cars. I forget how I came across it, but I end up laminating it so that I could keep it in pretty decent shape. So this is one of my mom's setup in beauty school. But to go back to some of her desire for school, so let me find the page. I'm going to pull up that one as well. That's her station. That was like her project, her cosmetology lab project. And you can see there's her handwriting. I realized too that my mom wrote in capital letters as well. She was never military, but that I learned to write in all caps when I joined the military, and also went through interior design school. It was called architectural lettering. We had to write in all caps. So to this day, I still do write in all caps, and it's kind of challenging for me to write in cursive when I have to. Y'all bear with me. I want to pull up this other image that we have here. So this here image was dealing with her future, what she desired for her future. And I'm gonna read that for you as soon as I get it on this page. Uh-oh. Y'all, it's very fragile. A lot of the pictures over the years had been taken out. You know, people have taken them out. You know, like I say, we were very young when she transitioned. So I'm just grateful to still have this. Give me a second. Here's some other pictures. Hold on. Of course, y'all know they have the cards. You know, you exchange cards with your friends in school. So she has basketball scores, track, gymnastic, football scores. Y'all know, I'm sure many of you've had memory book. She has important articles in here. Awards day, senior day, which their senior day was blue and gold because their colors were blue and gold. Junior prom. But let me get, this is a copy of her announcement here. Let's see, without making everything fall out. That's a copy of her announcement. And let's see, the commencement. Friday evening, June 11th, 1971 at 8 p.m., Gibbs Auditorium, St. Petersburg, Florida. So let's see here, y'all. Okay. So what that reads there that I can't see, it says, I, Anita Varice McKinney, wish to become a cosmetology teacher and to have my own shop. But most of all, I would love to marry Robert James Keaton Jr., and actually it's RJ. Somebody named him Robert James, but his birth certificate say RJ. Back in the days, after a certain time, they wouldn't allow children to have just initials for their name. So he got Robert James. But anyway, pretty soon, she said, if he would ask me to, I hope to get married the 29th of August, 1974. So That was her birthday. They didn't get married on her birthday. They actually got married July uh July. I have it on the document, but they got married in June or July the 17th, and they were married by a judge in our hometown, Mr. Sanders, whom they have a center named after. But that's just some of her beginning. Um, she absolutely loved what she did as a cosmetologist. She did it all the way up into her death. Um, and like I said, she did it at home. She did it at the salon. I want to say barbershop, but the barbershop is for me. She did it at the salon. So her schedule, she worked with her clients who could make it to the salon, during the hours. And if she needed to care for someone at home, she did that as well. And like I mentioned before, at times when after she had my youngest sister, she was at home for a while. So that's where the kitchen beautician come in. And I want to show you another image of the kitchen beautician supplies or um, products and things along those lines. So here you see um, a few of her clients in the kitchen. She got the Jerry curl rods there to the left, and she was actually doing the Jerry curl there. But yeah, my mom did it all. So to describe her spirit, her style, how I saw her move in the world as a young person. My mom was very no nonsense. One of my friends said she had the don't mess with me face on all the time. She was a very serious person. And I think my mom carried that look because she had been through so much. As I grew and became an adult and start to look back over her life, losing her mom in her senior year, a few months before she graduated, going through with my dad, having lost her father early on as well. My mom had experienced quite a bit. So, but she was a very strong person. A lot of people relied on her in terms of uh, just friendship, communication, being a confidant, and then, of course, her position as a stylist. Um, I say we're more than just barbers and stylists. We're therapists, we're cheerleaders, we're coaches, we're your hype man, a woman, we do a little bit of everything. So her style, my mom loved jeans and a t-shirt, to wear jeans, nice pair of slacks, and a t-shirt or a nice shirt, depending on where she was going out. But she was always dressed well, kept herself together, um, very professional in her dealings with her clients. Um, but for us as kids, I thought she was mean, no nonsense. But of course, we grew up in the projects. She was taking care of us by herself. Um, we came up during the crack epidemic. So it was just a lot going on. So she had to be that way to protect us because she was mothering us as a single parent. So losing her, uh, it was difficult because I woke up one day and she was gone. It's like, okay, what happened? What was wrong? Those types of things. And, oftentimes that generation don't talk about a lot of things. So we didn't know until the autopsy came back. My mom had emphysema. So, she transitioned. Um, she transitioned. Uh, yeah, the legacy she leaves in me, like I say, hair has always been a part of me. However, I didn't come into it until years later. Um, there was a life changing incident that put me back on, I should say, put me on course to rediscovering my first love. I had a Achilles tendon rupture where I was out of work and commission for 18 months. And during that time, God was speaking to me. I kept hearing hair, hair, hair. So I said, you make a way for me to go back to school to get training. I surrendered to the process. And that's what happened. So I ended up getting into school in um, January of 2020. So I started school, COVID hit, but to talk about that process, I had the injury in 2017, October 2017. I didn't get in school until January of 2020. So it was a lot of faith walk, believing that it was going to take place. So what I did to, in essence, prepare for it, I had already had my hair breeder's license. However, I wasn't operating in using it. But I had them for quite some time. And I started doing my own hair, looking at stuff on Pinterest and, Instagram, following different influencers who were doing quick updo styles or, quick styles that you could do. So I would do some of those. I just say that. I would do some of those, just to get a feel and show my commitment to, hey, Lou, thank you for joining. I greatly appreciate it. I would show my commitment to, okay, I'm taking the necessary steps until I can get in, or this miracle happens where I can go back to school. But nonetheless, I got in, COVID hit, and we had to do it online. So, but eventually I passed and, went through that whole spiel of getting through it. So, and carrying on the legacy, the moments I feel her guiding me, I'll share this with you because I watched her as a child. She went to state board with me and womb. It's like I know this stuff because my mom was studying and reading. Naturally, I'm getting the information because she's reading. And one thing my mom always had us do is read out loud. Why? I don't know. I still do it to this day, especially if I'm home, if I'm out in public somewhere. I won't read out loud, but I'll read. But I still do read out loud to this day. And it's something about hearing the words and hearing how the sentences and different things are put together. And I guess in a way, it's like a presentation of sorts. So my mom had the teaching spirit in her. So let me go back to her the future things that she wanted. So because my mom died at 34 at a young age, she didn't achieve her goal of wanting to own her own salon as well as become a cosmetology instructor. So she didn't achieve those. However, she did marry my dad and divorce him. Um, and finished cosmetology school. She got her license. So she did achieve those things. So and me, her guiding me, I feel it in everything that I do as it relates to my clients, how I share information, how I interact with them, how I advise them on products to use as it relates to their unique hair texture. Just being there for my clients, whether it's in the barbershop or offering a private service to them. And in my case, I'm mobile. My mom didn't know how to drive. So I have elderly clients or those who want me to come see them for a small fee. I go see them. So that's how I carry it along. The evolution from hair into coaching and authorship. So when I was y'all pardon me, this is drumming up a lot. I'm feeling a lot of emotions talking about it. The pain and emptiness of not having my parents. I'm still feeling that. So just bear with me with this. So getting into coaching, I've always coached sports, first off, and I've always provided coaching like assistance prior to becoming an actual certified life coach and certified life purpose and career coach. And then authorship came during the time that I was out. I had gotten involved with a write your book challenge, which is how I actually started writing the book. And that was done. The first 6 chapters was done in 16 days. And then I knew that it wasn't complete. So I end up putting it down. So I started the Write Your Book Challenge in February of 2018. I completed it in those 16 days, the first 6 chapters. But like I said, I knew that it needed an ending. So I put it away for some years. I didn't complete the last chapter until 2023. And if you have a copy of it and you've read it, it all blends together. So when I finished the first 6 chapters, I knew it needed to end. So I completed it. I completed that. So as I was saying with writing the book, I felt like she was guiding me along with that. The pictures came, I had pictures to complement the story. So introducing my book, it's a personal project here that carries my mom's legacy because I tell our story parallel. So I tell her story as well as mine in it. And let me just go through a couple what the chapters read, so you'll get a sense of how the book is laid out. So the first chapter says my baby hairs, which talks about my mom, her upbringing, her love for hair, me being born into it. Then it gets into doing the Jerry curl. It's also uh, I guess you would call it like a timeline of hairstyles as well, because I went through them too. Yes, I did have Jerry curl, and doing the creamy crack, I did have a relaxer. That's another chapter. And then chapter 4 is go natural. So after the creamy crack, I return back to my real roots, my natural hair texture. And then chapter 5, natural hair do's and don'ts. I've had some experiences with the do's and don'ts of natural hair. So I share those. And then chapter 6 talks about the natural hair community and the natural hair shows and expos, natural hair meetups, and then natural hair advocate and activist. Um, so that's what that was all about. So I got the first 6 chapters done, and then the 7th chapter is for the love of natural hair, and that begins to take you through the journey of how I came back around to it, my school experience, and then stepping out into the industry after becoming licensed as a master hair care professional. So, whereas my mom is a licensed cosmetologist, I'm similar in similar to her craft. I am a barber stylist. Master hair care is what my license say, master hair care. So that's I'm equivalent to a cosmetologist just on the barbering side. So um, I just have a little bit more clipper training in that. So what I want to do is share the dedication, because I did dedicate it to my parents, my mother and my father. My father was instrumental in this book in that he helped me uh, recall some things. He told me some things that I did not know. Like he used to go and visit my mom at school to get an occasional black coloring in his hair. He was in his early 20s. He was not gray, but he would color his hair black. Anywho, I think he was just going so he can get her hands in his head. But anyhow, he told me about that. He also told me about the products that they used in. He remembered a lot of that. Um, he talked about where my grandparents lived, or my great grandparents lived, and just my mom going to state board, not passing, and some of the other things along those lines in terms of her career getting started. So, with that, I want to share with you the dedication um, here. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. For the dedication, I can't read it because it's too small, but I have the book here and I can share it with you. It says, to my mother, Anita Varice McKinney Keaton, who didn't get a chance to realize her dream of becoming a cosmetology instructor. Uh, May the foundation you laid and the care and attention you gave to your clients carry on in me as I live in the legacy of my heritage. To my father, R.J. Keaton Jr., thank you for the heartfelt apology you gave to me on behalf of my mother. Your courage and vulnerability to own your actions in the relationship between you and her was essential for my healing and her soul resting. Uh, my dad had a couple years ago on my mom's birthday called me and apologized to me apologized to her on my behalf. He asked would I accept the apology, and of course I said yes. um, but he said it was all him. My mother was good to him. He was young. um, yeah. So he had come to a point in his life where he tells me about the song is by my dad, and I love old school music, but he had a couple artists that he loved, but it's this one song by Johnny Taylor, Running Out of Lies. And if you've seen the book launch video on Instagram, I'll tag it, put the clip or the link. I'm sorry, put the clip. I'll add the link in the comments below in this podcast. If you all would like to view it, you're more than welcome to. But in that clip, he talks about, running out of lies and, telling us, telling his kids lies and, just lying. But he uses Johnny Taylor's song, Running Out of Lies, as how he ran out of them. And I got to tell y'all, I was listening to Johnny Taylor's radio station on Pandora day before yesterday, and the song came on. Now, mind you, I had never fully listened to the song, but I did. And I could feel how my dad was feeling in reference to running out of lies. And it made so much sense. I cried because I knew it took courage, some vulnerability to apologize. Though it's many, many years later for my mom. But that helped with our relationship as well. The deeper meaning behind this book that was created during that time is about heritage, healing, and pride. I have this heritage of hair. The healing that took place not only between my mother, I'll say mine was more spiritual with my mother because I lost her at 16. So in losing her, I only knew her from a teaching standpoint. With parents, as the children age and become adults, the relationship changes over time. And I like to liken it as you're instructing, you're imparting. And then once the kids become grown, it's more of a communal. I don't necessarily like to use the word friendship, but it becomes more of a friendship type of relationship. So for me, I only knew my mom from the instructing, do this, the laying the foundation. So that I didn't get that, but in releasing some of the things that I experienced as a young child coming up of a single mother, being the oldest. If you all are older children, you know the responsibilities that we have for our siblings in the absence of our mother or father. If they're out of the home working, we're responsible taking care of them, making sure they eat, getting them in the tub, getting them in the bed, those types of things. But like I said, the book is deeper than, oh, I just, put something together. It parallels our story, because my story is her story. I share her triumphs. I share her trials. I share in this her determination to achieve that goal of becoming a licensed cosmetologist. Um, and it's a sense of pride that now I'm in a space where I'm actually, carrying this on. I'm grateful for the clients that I have. Um, I treat them with love and respect. I try to support them in any manner that I can. Uh, so yeah, one other thing that I want to show you all is I remiss to mention when I was talking about my dad or some things that I learned from him, and I actually got the video. So my dad would always tell me, I got something for my mom too, but this just came to me. My dad would always tell me about filling up my gas tank, right? As a single woman, he would always say, you get to a half a tank, fill up. Don't make sense you driving by all these gas stations and know you need gas and fill up. And some of you all might think a half a tank, you still got a lot of gas. But my dad started that with me when I was stationed in Jacksonville, and where I lived in Orange Park and getting down 301 to go out to Cecil Field. He was concerned and wanted to ensure that, things were taken care of. But in that, to this day, I still honor that. So I'm going to show y'all this video. So this is me. Let me see. Let me rewind it a little bit. This is me. You see the tank? Is that a half a tank, right? But I'm filling up. I'm filling up. So I still do that. And you never have to worry about running out. If there's gonna be a shortage, I always fill up. But I want to share that with y'all as a lesson. As for my mom, she taught me about organization, managing a household, um, running a household. Same thing, managing a household, running a household, organization, and cleanliness. My girlfriend was talking to me that I grew up with a couple days ago, and she was like, Yah-Tay, man, you could eat off Miss Shug's floor. She had y'all cleaning, and y'all couldn't come out till the house was clean, or everything was in order. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. we couldn't come out until that was taken care of and things were set up. But that's what I learned from her. And being a Virgo, they tend to be detail oriented individuals. And not only that, she was also a cosmetologist. So I saw how I'm going to put a picture of a station up. I saw how she kept a station. I saw how she maneuvered in the salon as a child coming up. Yeah, so it's kind of ingrained in me, sweeping and straightening up the magazines and things along those lines. So those are some of the things that I take. I had started dating. Well, she let me date at 16, and one thing she told me, um, she said, if a man is in the mirror more than you don't need him. I was like, what? But I got it. If he's in the mirror more than you, that might not be a good connection there. So um for the most part, like I said, it was foundational, caring for my siblings, caring for myself, how to carry myself, um uh cleanliness, I'm a very detailed, organized person, almost to a fault sometimes. Uh, but as I've aged, I'm a little more laxed. I kind of, yeah, I'm a little laxed on that, y'all. So, um, yeah, I'm a little more relaxed with that situation there. So, uh, I just want to speak to my listeners. For those of you who have joined this podcast, this Mother's Day tribute to my first inspiration of hair, because she did it first and I watched her. Um, Honestly, y'all, that's all I knew of my mother is hair. Uh, Doing hair in some way, shape, or form. She was doing hair, and like I said, that's all I knew. But I'm gonna bring up another picture here. Hold on, y'all. Picture of her. Um, this was the last one taken of her before she passed. We had a family picture done, and it was either November, December time frame in '87, because she transitioned March of 1988. So that was the last image. But what I want to say, those of you who are missing your mother today, um, just hold the lessons, the memories, um, the love that was shared. Um, just hold them close as heart. I'm grateful that I have things like my mom's memory book. I have some images. Um, my dad and I talked about it a lot, especially here recently. I think it was because he knew he wouldn't be with us long. I asked a lot of questions. Um, just hold those memories. And for me today, like I said earlier, it's bittersweet because now I'm without both my parents, and it's a different pain. Um, it's a different emptiness. But I will say I'm grateful. I'm grateful for my parents. Um, yeah. Um, she did have first. She did love first, and I carry it forward every day. I carry it with me every day. I, yeah, thank y'all for this tribute. Thank you for joining. I appreciate your time. It's my hope that something has connected with you. Um, yeah. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, stepmothers, grandmothers, aunts, those of you who have mothered. Happy Mother's Day. And thank you for this moment in time of sharing a Mother's Day tribute to my first inspiration of hair. And yeah, Yeah. I want to share one more thing with you all. Um, oh boy. So I want to just share briefly about the inspiration for the book. As you can see, the image of my mom working in the shop. Then there's the image of me as well. And on the back, I have a picture of me holding some shears and clippers. And then if you have the book, you can see it better. There's the image of my mom in my cat in my smock. So my graphic designer actually placed it in my smock. So in closing, I want to say that the legacy continues, um, and it's my responsibility uh, to keep it going, to keep it going. So I thank everyone for tuning in. Um, thank you for your time. Thank you for sharing in this moment with me. If you haven't purchased the book, it's on Amazon. If you have Amazon Prime, you can get it in 2 days. For those of you who do have it, if you live in the Columbia area and you would like for me to sign it for you, just reach out to me and I'll get it signed. If you would like the official seal, um, the award-winning seal on the book, let me know. Let me know that too, and I'll get the seal to you, so that you'll have it on your book as as well. But thank you for this special Mother's Day tribute to my mother, Anita Varice McKinney Keaton. And until next time, this has been episode 17. She did have first a Mother's Day tribute to my first inspiration. I like to say hairspiration, but she was my first inspiration. And I'm grateful to be getting a second chance at my first love. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you to those of you who are replaying this podcast. Don't forget to like, comment, and share, and subscribe to Female Barber Talk with Yah-Tay. I am Yah-Tay Keaton, also known as Yah-Tay the Barber Stylist, your host of Female Barber Talk with Yah-Tay. Enjoy and happy Mother's Day.
Naturals.